It's a dramatic spy saga that captivated millions of people over the past few days. This massive white orb, the size of 3 school buses, as you can see on these images, suspected of being a Chinese spy balloon, drifted across U.S. airspace and was shot down by the Air Force on live television on Saturday. The whole event blew up on social media and also triggered a diplomatic rift between China and the U.S. Beijing insists that the balloon was only used to collect meteorological information and happened to accidentally drift into U.S. airspace. And China also threatened Washington with further actions. In this statement, after the craft was shot down, China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs called the use of force by the U.S. an obvious overreaction and a serious violation of international practice. They even said that they reserved the right to take further actions in response. The Pentagon, however, says that the balloon, which was carrying sensors and surveillance equipment, was controllable and could change its course. Also, the U.S. government claims the object flew over sensitive areas where, for example, nuclear warheads were stored. So was the U.S.'s response over-exaggerated like China claims it was? Well, according to international law expert Donald Rothwell, the U.S. was absolutely in their right to shoot down the balloon.
The United States has complete and absolute sovereignty over airspace above continental USA and also the surrounding territorial sea. And so the presence of the Chinese surveillance balloon violated US sovereignty and is therefore contrary to international law.
But these surveillance tactics are nothing new. Chinese balloons had already transited the continental U.S. 3 times during the Trump administration and already once during the Biden one. So why all the big fuss? We asked the question to Natasha Lindstedt, an expert in U.S.-China relations.
This is definitely a notable event that's making things much worse for China and the U.S. Both governments really see each other just with total suspicion. They are both spying on one another. I think the reason why there's such an uproar about this is because it was so bold and it was because the public could actually clearly see it.
This whole incident also prompted U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken to postpone his highly anticipated trip to China. Now, the big question remains, was this really a spy balloon, and what sort of intelligence was it trying to collect?